So still more warm-ups. We're going to have warm-up number 5 now. So warm-up number 5 is going to be a different type of equation. Now we're going to go back. Now we're going to go the other way. So I'm going to say roots are 5 and -8. What is the equation? So the roots of a quadratic. So I should have probably said that. Roots of a quadratic, because there's roots of lots of things. So the roots of a quadratic are 5 and -8. So the question is going to be, what is a possible equation? Now we know, or we may not recall, but we should know, that it's going to be f of x of the format a x minus r x minus s, and you may have different letters. The r and the s you may have been shown different letters. But either way, it's kind of, that's the one root, that's the other root, and that's kind of a multiplication factor. And we know that the roots are 5 and -8, and so it's going to be, the equation is going to be a x minus 5, that's a 5, not an s, and x minus -8, so we're going to plug the roots in for those two things over there, and we get f of x is a x minus 5 x plus 8. Now the question asks for a possible equation, so for a possible equation we could just make up a value for a. And so we would say, okay, we're going to say that the actual possible equation is f of x equals minus 1.72 x minus 5 x plus 8. And there we go. We have a possible equation, and this quadratic would have roots at 5 and -8. I wrote A, so I'm going to have a B question. So the B question is going to be, what is the equation if the graph goes through the point 7 and -60? So we've already done some of the work. We know that it looks it's the same equation, right? So we know that it does look something like this. We know it's of the form, that's not the color I wanted. We know it's of the form f of x equals a x minus 5 x plus 8. Now what we want to do at this point is we want to figure out what the a is. So we can't just randomly guess an a at this point, we've got to actually determine what it is. And the way we're going to do that is, this is our x and this is our y, or this is our f of x. So we're going to plug 7 in for x, and we're going to plug -60 in for f of x. So it's going to be -60 equals a times, and the x is 7, minus 5 times, and we'll plug in the x again, 7 plus 8. And now all we do is we go and we solve for a. So we're going to have -60 is a times 2 times 15. -60 is a times 30, which I'm going to write in a slightly different way, just sometimes people do weird things. So I'm going to say that's the same thing as writing 30a. And then what we do is we divide both sides by 30. And we get a equals -2. So the equation, so let's just to summarize. So if we have roots at 5 and -8, and it goes through 7, -60, then the equation that satisfies those conditions is going to be -2 x minus 5 x plus 8. And that is our answer. Oops, I should straighten that out.